If you ever end up in the States, I'll teach you how to operate an excavator that's cute. Okay? People underestimate the power of cute.
Anyways, I'm Hazziesof as always. To my left is my amazing partner Nord, aka Nordicmonkey. Say hello to the stream, Nord.
Hello to the stream, Nord.
And today is stream number 417. Better believe it.
Yes.
Just chugging right along. I can't believe we've had 17 more streams after 400. Because like when we got to the 400th stream, I was like, that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Hazzie's going to invite
deal.
Hazzie's going to invite all of Washington for 420.
No. I'm not much of a I don't partake in that, so yeah. I don't think so. But I am happy that we're moving right along. But yes, you should learn how to use the mini excavator.
Yeah.
But I kind of don't want to.
I'm going to be teaching the kids.
I need to learn though. I found out so we were gone and we did the excavator stuff. I found out recently that I am really out of freaking shape. Because like I had to pick up pallets. And these were pallets that I picked up when we first moved into this place. And I could not really pick them up. It was more like I was scooting them on the ground. But I picked them the freak up when
you were chucking them around previously.
Yeah.
Have you considered though? They're wet right now.
They are wet. That's true. So they could be like a lot.
They could be
heavier
like
than normal.
as heavy.
Yeah, I didn't think about that, but yeah, I was just like, man,
Cheers,
I am out of shape.
Brandon.
Cheers, Brandon. Good to see you. Happy Tuesday.
Friday Eve
yeah,
is what
Friday
she means.
Eve. How are you doing today, Brandon? It's good to see you. But yeah, so we had.
Has he got our booster?
Oh yeah, so I'm late because I had to get my booster. So yesterday we picked up the excavator, which is a huge ordeal. We went to the port. I've never picked up anything like in this manner before.
She's not a fan of warehouses.
I'm not. Where we had to go, it was like completely chock full of freaking like semis and people with big trucks, and like it felt like a madhouse. Like I didn't know where we had to go. It was very not self-explanatory. I don't know how people like do that for a living and not like get totally stressed out. Because I was stressed. Like, that was very stressful.
I had an ulcer when I did that for a living.
And then the fact that we had to drive down the freeway, a busy freeway, with a freaking trailer and this heavy ass excavator, like heavy equipment that's super expensive, and like I'm just like I was stressed the whole entire time. We had a few hiccups when we got home, trying to figure out how we were gonna get the excavator off of the trailer. But we figured it out. We were fine. It's fine. But it was stressful. Like I'll be honest, I don't want to do that again anytime soon. That was not super fun. It was
There's a special process that you have to follow with the choke in order to get it started, and they didn't send me the
I'm sorry I reminded you it was Tuesday, Brennan. But hey, every day can be like Friday if you just have the right mindset. So there you go, Brandon. Yeah. Like for real.
I just never acknowledged the existence of days other than Friday and the weekend.
Okay. And then today I had to go get my booster, and my kid went to go get his booster.
He was very well behaved.
And he was very well behaved. Hi, Thorn. It's good to see you.
Cheers. Happy Friday Eve.
Yeah. Happy Tuesday. Cheers. You can say all the Eves. There's so many Eves, Brandon. I'm sorry. I gotta say Tuesday. Please don't make me say all the Eves. Anyways, yeah, so I got my booster, and I was really happy with like the setup compared to when I got my first 2 shots. Because when I got my first 2 shots, they had it set up in like our local pharmacy, and it was super crowded, and I was honestly kind of like concerned because we were not like 6 feet apart or anything like that. But today we went and got our boosters, and it was in a clinic, and there was like nobody there. It was just me, Nord, and our son. That was it. So we didn't even have to, it wasn't like a big ordeal. They just got us in. One of the nurses pointed out how they got my birthday wrong on my vaccination card, and they gave me a new card. Like, it was so smooth and easy. We got in and out really quickly, and so I was just really happy that it turned out that way.
And I'm going to be monitoring these two.
We'll be fine. You know, the last time I got my last shot, though, I don't even know if there was any side effects because I hadn't hurt my back. So if there was, I wouldn't.
You were feeling those effects.
Yeah, like I just was like hurt so bad feeling that, and I wouldn't have noticed anything happening if something was going on with the booster. Wraps you in blanket and brings you a super cuddly Yes, cuddly kittens will help.
I'll go get another booster if that's what I'm going to get out of it. That sounds awesome. I'm just going to get boosters every day.
I have to make a nurse appointment at my doc's office and go in for my booster. Oh, nice.
That's good. So it's good that it's a reasonable process.
How come we don't get to do that here? Like, we tried to talk to our doctors about that, and they're like, no, you got to go to a different location. Like, the place where we go to the doctors is like at a, I guess, hospital. It's a huge like medical center, but for some reason they don't.
Huge for our area.
Yeah, huge for our area, but it's really nice looking place. But for some reason they don't do the shots there. They didn't do the first 2 shots. They don't do the boosters there, so they send you out to somewhere else. Like they sent me to the pharmacy the first time, and then this other time they were just like, oh, you can find it online, and so. They don't do it there. I don't know why.
I'm pretty sure it's on the basis of them trying to separate people who are avoiding the infection with people that may already have the infection and not having them come into the same locations. Also, there's been a lot of strain on hospital staff. And so just taking one extra thing off their plate.
That's a good point. Yeah, maybe that's what it is.
I know.
But I would have liked to have just like called my doctor for an appointment and just gotten it that way, but
like 2 or 3 counties away from us, Governor Inslee is being consulted about bringing in the National Guard to
really?
To replace teachers and hospital personnel.
Really?
Because there's so many that are out right now.
I did not know that. Okay.
So
that's interesting.
And so there's going to be like
that's really interesting.
Sergeant Dickhead freaking instructing classes.
You were in the military, so
I know. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I'm getting at.
You're saying you can relate to that
the Army is not prepared for this. But then again,
is that really what's happening? Is that like, yes. I didn't know that.
Okay. I can get you a link to that.
That seems like that's kind of wild. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's because so many people are out sick with the infections right now.
That's like terrible. Oh my gosh. Anyways, y'all, so we were gonna just do like a really quick.
Sergeant Dickhead's a real person, by the way.
We're gonna do a really quick geeky talk before we jump into. I actually sent you a link for the CK3 stuff because I was like, this is this is a little bit more complicated than I want to go into. So maybe if you want to talk about it, I don't remember. It was modding stuff. And I know that we have talked about in CK3 that we were interested in creating a mod because like, remember how I was complaining about certain menus in CK3 are kind of just not convenient. So we were kind of talking about that, but I don't know what all the modded stuff is about. And so I was kind of like, maybe you could go over that a little bit when we jump into Geeky Talk. And then today, y'all, is going to be an IGC showcase. We're going to be playing this really cool RPG, turn-based RPG. And it's like tactical combat. I have not played any of it, so this will be our first time experiencing it. Both me and Nord will have both of our screens up, so this isn't going to be like when we played Unknown Shores or Shores Unknown. I always get the words mixed up. It won't be like that where it was just one of us this time. Both of us are going to be playing it, so yeah, we'll be checking that out. Oh my god, Blizz is giving out Reigns of the Swift Spectral Tiger. Oh, really? With their 6-month subscription for WoW Classic in China.
It is the year of the tiger, right?
I don't know. I have no idea what year this is.
Alexa, when is the year of the tiger?
Bless me.
Yep, February 1st.
Okay. So yeah.
There we go.
So yeah. And also
So Thorn, let us know what China's like. Thorn's like, I'm getting that shit.
I'm going to China, guys. Getting that tiger. That's a super rare trading card.
Send us a postcard.
Of the tiger? Of your character on the tiger? No. It was a joke.
I mean, can you VPN to being in China and then pull it off that way?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I haven't tried.
I don't know. Anyways, y'all. So first things first, I was gonna bring up really quick. I guess Ryan Wyatt, you know, the YouTube guy. You always see him like talking about streaming on YouTube and gaming YouTube stuff. He is leaving. He's leaving. He was like the face of like the YouTube streaming stuff for all that, and he's like leaving, and he's going to this Polygon place. It's not Polygon like the journal, I don't think, but he's leaving, and it's weird. And I think it's kind of a big deal because like a lot of people felt like YouTube kind of had a friendly face because of him.
Yeah,
and there was really somebody to talk to.
You made it approachable, and that they were making efforts to get their stuff up to the same quality as like Twitch and
yeah, and it's that's kind of, I don't know, that's wild to me. I don't know what YouTube's going to be doing next, like if they're going to have a person that's going to be like talking to people or not, because
it still doesn't make sense to me. Like YouTube can easily obliterate this entire market if they wanted to.
Yeah, they could. Maybe but there's not a lot of money in it, and that might be why. I know we do watch quite a bit of like Devin Nash. Mm-hmm. And like yeah, he even says they could do it, but a lot of times there's not a lot of money in streaming. So yeah.
I guess people aren't as into live content as I just assume.
Yeah. Because you're into it, so you just assume other people are into it.
Why doesn't everybody like the things I
like? I was born in the year of the tiger. Oh, nice. I was born in the year. I think my year was the monkey. I don't know what your year was. Was it like? What was it? Do you know? Alexa, what year?
Studio Steve 88. Heyo. Hey, welcome to Mug Club. This is Hazziesof.
Hi. It's the rat. I was going to say the rat, but I didn't want to say it because I didn't want you to get mad.
Hey, I prefer to be called a Skaven, okay?
Hello, Studio Steve. How you doing? It's good to see you.
This is Hazziesof. I'm Nordicmonkey McNerdrage. We play a variety of games, including games that I make her play.
Yeah, that's true. But
She brings the smarts. I bring the.
Comic
relief.
We are members of the Indie Game Collective, so we do quite a bit of showcasing of indie games, which we are going to be doing today. We're going to be playing Wartales, which we have not checked out until today. I'm excited to finally be like checking it out because I've been seeing everybody else have some fun with this game. But yeah, so we play a lot of that. We also do multiplayer and cooperative games and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
What we're currently doing right now is the Geeky Talk portion, where we discuss things that have been happening.
Yes.
Related to gaming.
So the games we're interested in, yes. And other random topics that chat brings up with us.
And then there's tangents sometimes.
Yeah, very, very long tangents seem to happen.
No, never happen.
Anyways,
we
were gonna be switching, like I was talking about with YouTube, how like that's weird that his like, because I don't know. I just kind of think of him as like the person to talk to when you want to know about like YouTube, like streaming and gaming kind of stuff. So that's weird. So that's kind of an end. I wonder, and I'm kind of curious to see if YouTube brings another friendly person on.
You know who they should bring in?
Who?
If they really wanted to nail it?
Who?
Devin Nash. I'm just saying.
Devin Nash has got other things to do.
No, he wouldn't take the job.
Yeah, like,
I'm just saying.
Like, I don't.
He would be.
You think he'd be a good person to speak on?
He would be the best fit for the community.
Yeah.
I don't think it would be the best fit for him and what he wants to be doing with his career and his various connections.
What he's doing.
And it would be a huge conflict of interest.
Yeah.
So he would have to leave what he's doing.
Why are pigs' tails curly? Naya's trying to take us off onto a tangent.
That's a good question.
I don't know why pigtails are curly. It's cuter that way. That's
the pigs that we helped raise didn't really have much for tails. Remember?
That's true. Yeah, but I don't know. It was one of them was kind of curly.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
The last property that we were living on, we had 3 pigs.
Oh no, please don't go off onto the tangent. Because I want to get into the game today since we're kind of late because of after getting the booster shot, since we're kind of late.
True.
So,
So I'll take over on this.
Okay, good.
So, they've added a whole bunch of new stuff available for modding, obviously, because this is about Crusader Kings 3 Royal Court. That's what we're discussing here. I didn't do a very good segue. Obviously, as it relates to that, a lot of the modding capabilities that have been added are for the Royal Court itself. So the first screenshot that they have goes over various details and changes that you can make. So it's really cool that you can make all these visual changes.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
So you can have all sorts of fanciness. Moving further down, they've added same-sex marriage as an availability, not just via mods, but based to the game. So that's another availability. So if you make
they didn't have same-sex marriages before, so now you can do same-sex marriages.
Yes, that's cool. Previously you could have the relationships.
Oh, okay, that's cool. Which, by the way, y'all, so like I know we're gonna be doing like our Lost Ark stuff as soon as Lost Ark is out, but CK3 Royal Court is gonna be out as well. So I don't know how I'm going to get this game in there.
He's not gonna sleep.
But we'll figure out a way to get it in there. I haven't been able to figure it out yet. So yeah.
All right. This part's a little in the weeds, but I'll go through it a little bit. Scripted widgets. CK3 is one of our most moddable games yet. Not just in terms of the content that can be added, but the game system mods can script. And our new UI system is the most open we've had in terms of what custom UI mods can add and edit. But the issue it had was letting you add brand new things entirely and keeping compatibility nicely. So in 1.5, there is a new system called scripted widgets. What they allow for, in essence, is a mod to define their own brand new windows in the GUI files, and then add an entry to the GUI scripted widgets folder that fits with that. So basically, remember how we were like, wouldn't it be really cool if we can make a mod so that it would be easier to...
For the menus.
For the menus and handing out your territory?
Yeah. Yeah, because every time I had to manage domains, I was saying I wanted to make a mod specifically for the menu because you couldn't go specifically where you wanted because of the way the menus were. You
had to memorize a pattern to pass through in order to do it rather than being able to do it automatically.
Yeah.
Now, modding is going to be very available for that.
Okay.
So that's a huge positive change. Scripted widget sounds like a company. It does. It sounds like Jetson's competitor. Like how there's spacely sprockets and all that sort of stuff. It's like and scripted widget is getting involved too.
All right. And then what's the rest of
They got a value breakdown, UI change, so it's going to let you know it's just better tooltips basically.
Okay. I'm going to put that in chat, y'all, in case y'all are interested. Of course, when I cut the Geeky Talk video and put it up on YouTube, I always have the links up under the description if you're interested in that. It should also be on our Discord. I didn't post this on our Discord, but we do follow CK3, and I'm pretty sure we have the bot putting up the patch notes when they happen.
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so, and then there's more stuff for being able to change, like, you know how they added all the cultural traditions?
Yeah.
So that you can modify it yourself and create other modifiers.
Okay,
so it's pretty cool.
Okay, I like it.
Do you have anything else to cover?
With CK3, no, I think that's it for CK3. As we're getting closer and closer to the date, because, like, really, I've been watching more for Lost Ark. I want to do CK3.
16 days?
But I'm not. No, it's like 14 days.
14 days.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I want to do CK3, but like I'm not like I said, maybe it might be held off until like later next month or something. I'm not sure how to work it in while we're going to be doing Lost Ark and then still do an occasional showcase. If y'all are interested right now on Discord, we have 2 added extra events. Let me check to see which events I have added, but I have so we are going to be doing on January 28th we're going to be doing Spite, Edgar's Rage for the next showcase.
Yes.
And then in February we have Lost Ark Day, which is February 8th, and then we'll be doing the TSI preview Against the Storm.
Describing it as a day is funny because she's going to be playing it for 96 hours straight. But, sure. Day.
Well, I just mean that's going to be the first,
I know,
we can find the North American release and stuff. But I don't know if we're going to be doing other showcases for the month. I'm going to try to hold off so we can do as much Lost Ark as possible, and maybe on some of the days we'll do, if I can find an open day, we'll do CK3 as well. So that's what I'm kind of looking forward to.
I agree 100%, Thorn. I hated that too. Thorn said, I hated that. I was always forgetting how to do stuff because I had to go 10 menus deep to get to what I wanted.
Yeah.
Exactly. No,
and
just
you had to remember, sometimes you had to remember the domain, and then you had to go get to that domain. But half the time I couldn't even remember what the domain name was.
Yeah, no, it would just be fantastic to just click on it and be like, all right, hand it out, hand it out.
If they had, some of the menus have like an actual search where you just type in the name and you search for it. They had that, it would be really nice, but they don't have that in some of the menus. You have to look through everything.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, there's a lot of potential for modding.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons I wanted to do a mod for that game, just because the menus can be really freaking difficult to navigate. So yeah. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is, I know we haven't played Don't Starve Together in a while, and that's like Nord's raging game. But I do want to get back to it eventually. And they did put up their recent notes as like what they have planned for 2022, which I'm like really excited about. So they're gonna have like the Year of the Cocoon, it looks like, 4 character refreshes, 3 3, what is QOL updates?
Quality of life.
So we're gonna be getting that kind of stuff. They're gonna be doing a carnival games and more carnival games and prizes and all this other cool stuff. I think the carnival stuff happens in summer. So yeah, a bunch of cool stuff that's happening with Don't Starve Together. I would like to do more Don't Starve Together, but that's kind of one of the games that honestly I kind of put on the back burner, not kind of intentionally, not really intentionally, because we did start showcasing a lot of indie games and all that cool stuff, but because Nord found Tribes of Midgard and we started playing Tribes of Midgard, I feel like we kind of put Don't Starve Together on the back burner since then. But I would like to try to get back to DST, but I know that you're not like a super fan of it.
Honestly, ever since we got the pause mod, that's made the game so much easier.
Insert flipped. Yes, I know, right, Thorin? That's like Nord every time we're playing DST.
Hey,
it's like what I'll be honest, it's still like one of my favorite games.
There are no clips in existence of me flipping any furniture
yet.
You don't know what happened outside of this room, but there are no clips of me flipping furniture. Okay.
I don't know, Nord. I don't know.
Don't tattle.
No snitching. And then another thing is the Yakuza creator has announced his own studio, even has a website, all that cool stuff that's happening. I'm excited to see what he does because
Hazzie's in the Yakuza.
No, I'm not. Why do you always say what?
Hey, you were snitching on me.
Anyways, yeah, he's looking to be doing like really cool things that are bigger than the Yakuza games even. I guess he was saying that in order to stay with Sega, he had to keep doing the same thing, and he wanted to do something new.
He wanted to branch out for him.
Yeah, so I'm like excited to see what he does and what he comes up with.
He's already brought a lot of imagination to those games, and if that was him confined, I wonder what him unleashed will be like. So.
And then moving. Sorry, I know I'm going through these quick today, y'all, but
we're getting to a game.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to a game, and since I was running late because of the booster, I'm trying to get to it quickly. But this one I wanted to talk about because I thought it was freaking hilarious. This is an article in PC Gamer. All the articles today that you saw were in PC Gamer. I will put up links to these later, but This one is entitled, "Won't Somebody Think of the Poor Scalpers?" Argues scalper service provider.
Oh, I think of them. Whenever I want to hit something, I think of them.
They're like in here talking about how a lot of the people that are scalping are a lot of younger people or certain people that weren't like making money before, how they're making money by doing this and stuff. So they're trying to kind of like promote it as in a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, because it just I don't know. You like I don't think it's a good thing, and I don't think
anybody who takes something and monopolizes it and then marks up the prices is doing the same thing.
Yeah.
People who are scalping tickets outside of a freaking sports
event.
Flip
your table onto a scalper, Nord.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Thorn, you have sold me. I'm gonna get like a special table I can carry around with me outside. You know, like the fold-up ones? And then I'm gonna find somebody scalping, unfold it, and flip it at them. And just keep chasing them around.
I thought this was funny that this was like brought up, and I'm like, so are they're just like trying to get people to like, I don't know, like,
okay,
be more sympathetic towards the scalpers.
So
really, like,
at least it's not as bad as like that one person who bought a drug company and then marked up the prices 900%.
Yeah,
because that's something that's necessary for human life.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna make a false equivalency there.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're taking something that a lot of people gain enjoyment from, and let's be honest here, consoles being cheaper than PCs by and large.
Yeah.
Tend to be for a demographic of people that doesn't have as much money to get into PC gaming.
Yeah.
Including younger people.
Yeah.
Our kid, this is taking it personally, our kid busted his butt to save money for over a year so that as soon as they both came out, he would be able to do it.
Yeah, and the article says like they're not really thinking about like, let me just read it because like it's just weird. I think it's weird. I'm just like, I don't understand this whole. No, I'm sorry. I don't really have sympathy for people who are like basically upping the price of them. Like that's annoying. Like, like I know like consoles aren't like a necessity or anything, but people are already doing it with actual like they're doing it with other products as well.
It's creating false demand.
It's really annoying.
It's creating false demand.
Yeah, it really is. Anyways,
go ahead and give that to me.
Okay.
It's market manipulation creating false demand.
Yeah.
And that has very negative consequences.
Anyways, let me get into the article. The current ongoing chip shortage is affecting tech from all walks of life. Electronics all over the world have become a bit harder to get, with gaming hardware hit especially hard when coupled with crypto mining demand. Getting a shiny new graphics card or console, or in some cases even RAM, is already a heroic level challenge without adding scalpers into the mix. Sky News talked to Jack Bayless, who runs a sort of aggregate service for people looking to make others pay too much for things like tech and shoes. See, and like I was saying, other products are getting like that too. Like people are doing it with food. Like remember when we were like, I was trying to buy some protein bars online.
Yes.
And people have basically done that with some of the protein bars I buy. So,
I find deals on Slick Deals.
Yeah.
And like sometimes I'll be there like 2 minutes after the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'll have gotten it via my email, and bots will have purchased everything up.
Yeah, because people aren't using it just for their personal to get a deal for their personal self. They're buying it in like a lot because they're trying to make money off of it, and that's what people are doing now. It's kind of like wild that this is what it you know what it reminds me of? Do you remember like the hardcore couponers back in the day?
Yes.
And then all the grocery stores were like, F this, and now now
you can't use coupons.
Well, I mean, you can use coupons, but it's not as like how it used to be.
There's a lot of them that don't. That's true. That don't even take coupons anymore.
But what I'm saying is like they make the rules tougher on the coupons now.
Yeah, exactly.
So like that sucks because the extreme couponers actually ruined a lot of that stuff for just normal like shoppers, and it kind of sucks.
No, market manipulation always causes these sort of consequences. It's like people aren't.
Yeah. Thorin said my humidifier filters have gone from $8 to $50. Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm not shocked. That sounds about right.
Are they the type that you can clean to reuse at all, or are they the type that you really have to get a new one?
Away.
Like a fuel filter on a car, like you really have to get rid of that, or oil filter. But like an air filter, you can sometimes blow out a couple of times, get it better. But
okay, let me continue on with this.
Okay, sorry.
The interview is around the idea of legislation to prevent scalpers and bots mass buying of products. Bayless makes some pretty inflammatory comments on the subject that seem designed to generate attention, so I've decided not to list the name of his service. As for what it does, users can sign up for €30 a month to be notified when retailers have stock of hot products, which of course is a great tool for local scalpers. According to Bayless, he makes $61,000 USD from those who've signed up, many of whom he described as very young, so it's no surprise he's keen to defend the practice. To me...
So he's ripping off these people.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
To me, owning the PS5 or an Xbox isn't a necessity, it's a luxury, okay? If you can afford to spend €450, spending the extra €100 should be pretty marginal if you've got cash ready to splash on that, said Bayless.
No, because you're doing it through irreputable sales.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You're not sure you're going to be able to do it. Here's the thing. Okay, there's an easy way to deal with this. Make it like they've already done this in South Korea. They've done it in a number of places. Make it so that there's a limit on what you can purchase.
I like that idea.
Like, okay, if some people want to make a little extra money, allow them to buy, depending on it. Let's throw a number out of my ass.
Like 5.
Because I have
something like that.
5, 3, whatever.
Yeah.
But when people are going out and buying 80 Xboxes,
yeah,
or 200 PlayStation 5s,
yeah,
like they've been doing.
Yeah, I know.
And that's where it gets insane. And no, it's not these young people who are just getting a little bit. It's actual investment companies that have been participating in this. Like they have mutual funds. Mm-hmm. Mutual funds were buying into this.
I didn't know about
people who are already millionaires and billionaires are getting richer on this, and he's defending them. No, fuck it. Fuck them. I'm sorry. We need to switch topics. This is going to get me angry.
Oh, I wanted to read it because it's an interesting topic.
All right.
Bayless argues that the benefits to the people involved in the scheme far outweighs the cost to those who are. I mean, I agree with you, but I still think it's interesting how people
carry on.
How people try to justify it. I think it's interesting. Far outweighs the cost to those who are wanting to buy a new console. Yes, families are going to have to pay another €100. But what you don't think about is our members. They've got 30 consoles. They're making €100 on each one, and then they're making a good month's salary in a couple of days. He goes, the problem for me too is like, doesn't that cause inflation on everything? like this is like an actual issue. Like he goes on to talk about how those participating in his scalping program are thriving on the profits, including people who are younger or weren't doing so well before justifying the process. What they're doing is they're being entrepreneurs, they're going out creating a side income, and they're doing something that 90% of the population can't be bothered to do, said Bayless. Bayless also goes to... Oh my God, I don't even... I can argue with that statement right there.
Here's the thing. What these people are doing is they're using bots.
Mm-hmm.
And 90% of the population can easily be made to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So, no. And also, you're not providing a good or a service.
Yeah.
You're taking advantage of others providing a good or a service.
Yeah.
Which is basically what the whole of the stock market is, which is why I hate the stocks and stuff. Anyway.
Yeah. Bayless also goes on to compare his service to the stock market, which you just said.
Oh, damn. Set that one up.
Simply buying up a popular stock that seems profitable and selling it to make money. And then then to the manufacturing process, just another overhead for a new line of retailers. The 24-year-old also said, God, I'm sorry. As I heard, I was like 20. I'm like, he's 24. I'm just like, kind of just rolled my eyes. Stated he was very in tune with my moral compass as a person. All right, it's impossible. Did you hear that?
Yep.
It's impossible to not. I don't really give a shit about the age, but I'm like, you're 24. You're a fucking baby, okay? Like, I'm sorry if you're 24 year old out there.
You're a baby.
And, like, well, but there are like mature 24-year-olds too. I'm like, if you are,
no, there aren't.
I was pretty mature for 24.
Yes.
Like, so I don't know. I would have seen, like, I would have not.
I would argue there aren't mature 55-year-olds. Humanity is a underdeveloped species that has a long and crazy route of freaking evolution necessary in order to become mature. But anyways.
It's impossible to not be frustrated by such cherry-picked arguments. It's easy to see that it's still artificially inflating the price of an item for personal gain and putting something out of reach of others just because you can afford it. It's also likely that this is all just another play in the self-proclaimed entrepreneur's efforts to get more subscriptions. Much like many NFT and crypto schemes going around, Bayless relies on others buying into his service to turn a profit.
Do you know what entrepreneur means? It's a French word for douche.
Okay.
I have never met anyone who is a self-described entrepreneur who isn't also a douche.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying it's a guaranteed connection. I'm just saying there's a lot of correlation there.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's go on. We're done with this.
Okay, we're done.
I'm going to get angry.
I just think it's interesting because of the justifications that somebody like tries to make for what they're doing when they're like inflating prices and actually causing issues, when it's like we've got inflation happening like in a lot of places, and sometimes it's not on things that are quote unquote luxury items. So
inflation in general, in any sort of situation, especially if it affects the wealthiest, drives inflation up as a whole. Inflation of basic goods and services, if they're necessary for like for transportation and stuff, drives it up too. But like the biggest amount of inflation that we're experiencing here in the US, 50% of it is based off of the fuel price increase, which is killing the country right now. Like we're going into the next Great Recession.
Anyways,
you're going to hear this in the news. I hate to break it to you. They're going to be telling you next Great Recession here over this next month.
People are like, I didn't know it was going to become a discussion about this. I'm walking out, but I'm cool with it. So, y'all going to just have to learn to be cool, or you just going to have to leave.
Anyways, this is.
I find it interesting to see like somebody trying to justify it when there's like no real justification, and you're just doing it for personal gain, but are not when you're not willing to just say, I'm just doing it because I'm personally gaining and I'm making money off of it. That's why I'm doing it, and you can't just keep it at that. Like makes I don't know.
Okay, here's the thing. While I'm saying it's a douchey thing to do, like it's a fucked up thing to do.
Yeah.
Like just own that and be like, yeah, I know it's fucked up, but I want to get my. I want to.
And if it's not, I want to pay my bills. Here's the thing: it's not illegal.
Like, just be honest.
Here's the thing: it's not illegal here in the United States, so they're not doing anything illegal. They might be doing something that's like a douche move, like as you.
It bothers me when people try to justify something as like, well, these others do this other thing, and it's just like, no, just own up to it.
Just own up to it. Yeah, I kind of feel that. I feel that way too. I feel that like while I feel like the scalpers are more of like a symptom of a greater problem, and I feel like that it could be solved if like the United States would make some laws on it, or maybe some of the companies, like specifically like the console companies, would do something. Like if they didn't want this to happen, they would do something about it. But I think I just think that because this creates like it creates like a manipulated like demand.
Yes, exactly. Artificially manipulated.
It actually makes money for the console companies in the long run. So I feel like that's one of the reasons they're just being like, we're just gonna sit here and not do anything about it, even though they could. But
they could do it very easily. They could just require a certain thing, like what did Steam do to head this off?
Oh, they did. They required like a $5, like you purchased it a $5 thing to like hold on to a Steam Deck.
You were purchasing a hold for a Steam Deck.
Yeah,
and it had to be one per account. So that's two checks on it. And then the third thing, it couldn't be a brand new account.
Yep.
Like
that's why I'm saying if the companies wanted to, they could actually make it not happen. But like I said, I think it's
shitty business practices.
Yeah, but I think that the scalpers are actually benefiting those companies. So but if America wanted to, like, if they wanted to create laws on it, they could too. But nothing's happening with it. So
if I was in charge of Sony Games Division, I would have done this. I would have hired a scalping company right away to get out there and get some stuff going. I'm serious.
I mean, it does create that demand for the company.
I'm not saying that that's what's happened. I'm just saying that's the best thing that happened to them. Yeah. They remember when they were announcing everything, they're like, hey, we're going to make less PlayStation 5s than we made PlayStation 4s because we're not sure if there's going to be the demand.
Yeah.
And then all this starts kicking off. Anyways, the way that inflation works is the goods that are based around the things that the wealthy want the most.
Mm-hmm.
That's the relative level of inflation that you have to watch. So if you look at it, inflation on yachts, nobody but rich people owns them. Inflation on private jets, nobody rich people owns them. Mm-hmm. Those are the numbers of actual inflation.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what determines everything. Because guess what? Almost all the wealth is held by those people, and that actually determines the true rate of inflation. Yeah. And that's what we're going into, and that's why everybody's interest rates are going to rise 5 times over the next couple of years.
Yeah, yeah. Especially when like it's real. Like I'm noticing it on food items and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Or like when we want to go out to
based off of rising fuel costs.
Yeah, and when we want to go out to eat, like I'm like, oh my god, when did this cost this much? When I'm like trying to order a burger or something, and I'm like,
I would like a combo meal. No? That's $12.
Yeah, I'm like, what? Exactly. That's why it's like it's kind of like I never really cared about inflation at a certain point.
It's
but
like,
now
damn,
it's like,
I thought HelloFresh was bad. Maybe that's a reasonable deal now.
Actually, HelloFresh might actually be a reasonable deal.
I know.
Like that's like really funny to me. But yeah,
it's getting crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
All I know is we're gonna be raising more and more at home.
Yeah, well,
that's freaking crazy.
Yeah, it is.
It's nuts. All right.
Okay, y'all, we are going to be doing our showcase today. It's going to be Wartales, so we are going to watch the trailer really quick, and then we're going to jump into the game. Please enjoy the trailer, and then we will work on the game. I do not know what to expect from this game, but I've heard nothing but good things.
We're going in restricted in our knowledge.
Yeah. Every RPG that we showcase, I'm probably always going to go in not knowing because I like being surprised. So. We're probably focused more on Nord's gameplay because you always get like ahead of me and you always seem to know what you're doing like a lot more quickly than I do, but it looks really good. Which I don't know who's in chat or whatever, but if you got a notification from Twitch today, could you please let me know? The reason I ask is because we did not see a notification today. Me and Nord, there was no like notification on our end, so I think notifications didn't work today. But I did post in our Discord.
I'm a fan of the combat. It's interesting that it's squares because we've been playing a lot with like hexes or not or ones that are based on distance.
Can I tell you about something with the hexagon stuff?
Yes.
I think I'm not a fan of. Well, I mean, I like games that have the hexagonal stuff. I'm not okay with it. But
Okay.
but I don't know what it is. The movement sometime with the hexagonal turn-based stuff sometimes throws me off.
Because like people go like this.
Yeah, and then sometimes I think that I am close enough to use an ability. Like this happens to me all the time in Rise of Humanity. I think I'm close enough to use an ability and I figure out I'm not. And it's because of the way the hexagonal stuff is set up.
That's true. That's true.
And that's one of the reasons I'm not like, I don't like hexagonal as much as other like in other shapes I think would work better. I don't know, like when we do Divinity, I don't ever have this issue.
Yeah, Divinity's based off of distance.
Yeah, so
as is Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah, so I feel, but do you remember what the shape for Gears Tactics was? Because I never had that issue
I thought it was
Gears
distance as well.
Maybe it was. So maybe I'm not used to the hexagonal stuff or something. Because I constantly get thrown off by the shape rather than using distance like in these all these other games. So,
I think squares also works kind of nicely because it's like checkers, chess, and a number of other board games.
I agree 100% with that.
If you've done hexagon type stuff like when you're doing D&D old school tabletop back in the day, or like a lot of other tabletops that do hexagons as well, then there's a comfortability factor. But I think you learned without it like that, and so it's different for you. Anyways, I'm gonna start a new game.
Okay, I'm gonna get into game 2. It doesn't even look like my... Okay, there it goes. I was like, doesn't even look like my game is showing up. So I'm gonna go ahead and let you talk. I'll let you know if my my gameplay is the main gameplay. So since we're showing off this game for the first time, Nord.